Yeah, he knows
Oh, I
about
grew up in Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I've got
I'm out with
like
like
seven,
he's
like,
just, I mean, he's a conservative, he's a farmer, I mean, I worry that.
I worry about it.
I just worry about it because,
Yeah.
and that's what I told him was, because he's a businessman, he's gonna be just like Reggie Phillips going in thinking he can change things right away. He's not. I don't know how much of
Yeah, but at least he'll try.
He'll try, he will try, I'll give him that, he will try.
Ron, I haven't posted anything since the daddy-daughter dance.
No, I think
That's
he'll
what-
do a
The
good job.
daddy-daughter dance.
Okay, who am I supposed to,
Very conservative.
who am I supposed to tell?
Tell Floyd or me?
I mean, I like the guy.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, and I'll tell the whole world.
Somebody driving a Dodge, silver Ram.
Ron?
No, he may work for the college too. I don't
Hey, Todd,
Been here a while.
I think he was talking about your truck. That's Kyle.
Protection, what do you call Floyd? Identity protection.
There was a Dodge Ram out there that had like,
Who is?
Oh, is on this end?
So the county chairman, right, and.
right out here, that's right, you can see it.
Ron, ask Ron.
Ron, that your dog? Two good choices.
Yeah, it'll go on. If not, we'll jump it.
Our response would be man up.
Go on out and turn them off, though, it's unlocked. It's
I'll get it.
county.
Sorry I called you that.
I didn't even hear.
I just entertained myself.
There's one on that one.
I've done that a few times.
Me too.
But seeing how I left,
They're all.
it became,
Call meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
yes.
Holkenbrink.
Yes. Now I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Black,
Yes.
Beard, Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Holkenbrink.
Yes. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on February 13th, 2018. Anybody make that motion?
Okay, I'll make another.
Who's going to second it?
I'll second.
Luke?
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Holkenbrink.
Yes. Do we have anybody here for public comment at this time? Seeing none, do we have any guests that would like to speak at this time? Well, no, that's fine. No guests at this time, that's fine. Next, I would like to make a presentation to the Life Center, Cumberland County, from Illinois Counties Association. Actually, I already made the check presentation to Sandy Bowman beforehand, took pictures and everything. But anyway, to explain what this is, Illinois Counties Association sent me a letter the other day, said they would like to contribute $300 to some charitable organization in Cumberland County, a 501c organization. They're doing that to every county in the state of Illinois, I think. The Illinois Counties Association made up of, I'm not sure who, maybe the UCCI, or I'm not sure who all's involved. Don't know much about it, but for some reason they want to make a small contribution to throughout the state. So But they gave me the opportunity to pick the organization, so I chose the Life Center. And I don't know how many other charitable organizations are there in Cumberland County. Anybody have any idea?
Got all kinds of churches and
Yeah.
Several organizations.
And I think the Life Center does a lot of good organizations, so I chose them. And I got a check back from her, and we presented to her this evening, and that's all I got, Sandy. Good luck.
And perhaps I'm out of order, and maybe I was supposed to speak when you asked for public comments, but I want to tell you that I appreciate it. Thank you very much for putting our name forward, and we try to use whatever funds we get in the best way possible. I will use the opportunity to announce that we're going to soon be adding lights to our parking lot. So we're working with Ameren, and it's going to be kind of like putting up farm lights, but they're going to be, I think, very attractive and be a compliment to the community, so.
All right, thank you, Sandy. Okay, very good. Next order of business is discuss and take action on surveillance camera system for the courthouse. I've got another, well, let's see. So far, we've had 3 companies put bids on the courthouse. They are Barlow Security, Total Farmer Home Video, and also, we don't have a type of Effie Moran also put a bid on. And the lowest bid was $4,200 for Barlow Security. So, before hopefully we can approve this, one comment I'll make, I talked to Ray Dial the last board meeting, but they get funding for grants or something for video cameras, surveillance systems. He said, well, yeah, they might. So he got back with me a couple of weeks later, and I told him to put them all 4 buildings, and it's going to cost $15,000. Well, he got back and said, well, if you're going to do the jail, we might be interested, but we didn't think we could do the 4 buildings. Just didn't want to, they didn't have money for that. So I said, well, that's fine, Ray. We've decided anyway to change. We're going to put a security system in the courthouse and have it done. We had a bid back of $4,200, $250. And we're going to do that, and we have our maintenance man probably put surveillance cameras in our other buildings. That's what I told him. I said, oh, really? I said, well, that don't sound too bad for the courthouse. I'll see what I can do. So he called me back Friday, and he said he will probably pay for half of this system. Probably. Good chance of it. So that will help them. They just wanted to kind of throw a little incentive out there once in a while, show they're doing something.
he'll help with the
Oh.
jail.
If we ever do a jail, they would, there's a good possibility they may help with the jail, because that's very important. But by then he may not, I don't know. So that's all. So, having that said, hopefully, I'd like to have a motion to,
Got a question for you.
yes, sir.
One has 5 cameras, one has 6 cameras. One has 5 cameras, look like they're all inside, and this one here has 2 exterior security cameras, so I don't guess they'll be going outside, and you got 4 inside.
Correct.
So we're not really comparing apples to apples.
No, they're not the same system, actually. When we priced this, we wanted the cameras inside, but Total Farm Home Video come back with this, and they put 2 cameras outside, one on each outside door on the sidewall. And then they put, you said 4 other inside cameras, I guess 2 on the bottom floor, 1 on the 2nd floor, and then 1 on the, up on the probation stairs. I really don't like the Total Home system, but I don't think it's, the camera's in the right place. I like the Barlow security system better, because they're having 3 on the bottom floor, 1 on each door plus 1 in the lobby, and then 1 on the 2nd floor that shoots the entire corridor of the 2nd floor, and then they have 1 up on top of the probation office, and they're going to have a monitor in the probation office so she can monitor if anybody comes in. So,
I apologize for not making it to the meeting you guys had on that thing, but I guess what we should have probably had is a spec sheet so that they're at least bidding on the same thing. I mean, we got 2 different ideas here.
yeah, that's true.
Which could change
Yeah.
someone's bid drastically.
Well, they told us before they started they were gonna put it inside. Well, they changed their specs.
Yeah.
They changed.
Like I said, I was not there, so I don't know what you guys did.
I can verify that. We only wanted things on the inside. And when they came back, they made a presentation to a bunch of us
At that special meeting.
at that special meeting, and then they had two on the outside at that time when they made that presentation. And I can't remember if we brought it up at that time, you know, why we had two on the outside or what, but,
Yeah, I don't know either one.
I didn't like adding the two myself.
So, any other
And you said
question
how much are they gonna pay? Insurance was
He
on
said
this one here?
on this, yeah, 4,200, he'd pay half of that, half the
Who'd you
$4,200.
say monitoring system?
Say what?
Who's monitoring the system? Who's gonna
Monitor?
monitor it? Like, is it gonna be a SID?
Nobody monitors it. They put a recorder in the courthouse, and then you can monitor that. If you get the password, you can monitor it from the assessors, from the clerk's office, or anywhere you get on the screen. You can monitor it on.
I thought you said there was gonna be a monitor or something up in the
Probation.
probation office.
I thought I don't remember, do you remember, Sheriff? I thought you were gonna put a recorder up there, monitor.
I think she wanted to be able to see the people outside the door. She didn't have a glass in her window, so she could see.
Okay,
who
yeah,
comes
there's
up.
gonna be a monitor inside of
That
that.
was my.
Okay,
Probation
that's what I
office.
thought you said.
They could be
That is-
different, many different TVs, I mean, like a different offices can see it.
You could, I think you could put
I mean, it should be, I'm just making sure
as
that
many monitors as you
we're
want
gonna pay
on
or
it.
something, make sure they can.
Now, I assume you can access it remotely. So,
Yeah, that monitor is gonna be in the probation office, and mainly for her to see who's coming up. I guess she can monitor all the cameras she wants to, but she probably won't be monitoring, but anybody can monitor from remotely, like the sheriff said, so.
You said we had three bids, Barlow was the lowest, what was the third one?
Epi Moran
What did Moran,
is $5,700.
5,700, so
They're
they were the most expensive.
They most spend, yes, Todd.
You made a comment with the insurance company paying for half. Sheriff, you said that you're gonna be wanting to update the jail,
it's gonna need to be done at some point.
so should we get these lumped together to where they pay half for all that? Or is this gonna screw us up for them paying for half of that? I mean, I don't
What do you mean,
wanna, I don't
lump it?
wanna accept 2,000 whenever we could lump them all together and let the insurance company pay for the half of the whole package.
Pay 8,000,
Yeah.
yeah.
What package you talking about?
Well, if we do this and the jail at the same time, let them pay for half of that.
They might, they might not. They're not guaranteeing anything for paying for the jail, but you gonna throw it all together? That's a totally
Well, what
different
I'm
system.
saying is if we jump on this for $2,000, we may cut our throat. Let's say, well, we did it one time, we're not doing it again.
I think
I'm
we,
just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's the case.
well, do we need to even think about doing the jail right now?
Here's what I would say. Originally, the jail system was set up with the doors and the camera system was one system, and you could sit in the control room and control that. We got to having trouble with the cameras, so we went out and bought I'll call it an inexpensive system to record the cameras, because that part of that original system had gone down. So now you're just left with the door controls on that controller. That controller's 20 years old. I would like to see, and it may be after I'm gone, but to have that redone, rebid all the way it was originally, where dispatch can look at the cameras separately and control the doors. And that's one integrated system. That's what it was originally. We just, to get down the road, we pulled this camera part out and put it on a separate hard drive, is the way to say it, I guess. But the cameras are all old, need upgraded, but the door system's gonna, at some point, gonna have to be upgraded, because I don't think they're gonna be able to continue to maintain it, because the technology's 20 years old. So I think, I would rather see y'all sit down and, but you're talking 60 grand. Last time I
Yeah,
talked
but even
around.
insurance pays
10,000.
10,000, that's cheaper
That's
than
better
60.
than just accepting two. And
Oh.
I'm afraid that
We just kind
if
of
you
Would-
do one, they may say, well, one per county.
Would it be possible to table this motion and find out if they would pay more if we added the jail into it?
You won't get a definite answer, Ron. They're not gonna definitely say yes or no. Actually, I asked for money for $15,000, half of that, and they definitely said, no, we can't do it. He used the excuse, well, the jail, then we do it. Well, that's a nice excuse. The only reason he's giving us this $2,000 is because it's only $2,000, he's just trying to make a friendly judgment. So that's the way I got it. So if you wanna take it, fine. If they come up with a jail, like, that's a big, well, like I say, $10,000 you're gonna get. So I think we ought to take this money, we're gonna do it now.
Take the money and run?
Yeah. That's what I do.
Oh.
Jail, the different stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much of a gambler are we?
So basically, we buy the system, they put it in, we pay for it, and we send a copy of the receipt to Ray Dial, and he'll pretty sure reimburse us. Ain't nothing guaranteed, but he's felt pretty sure he would.
Half of it.
If we,
How about half of this, 4,250?
if we don't, we're just spending
We-
twice as much.
If we don't,
How long was
we'll
the
pay for
recorder
it.
for this, did you know? How long they record this, keep the recording?
20
I know-
days, I think.
That was the other one, I know, it's the 20 days.
Well, this
Maybe
here
this is
says-
30 days.
It says 4 terabyte, so 5 cameras, and 4 terabyte, that ought to last over 30 days.
they have some adjustment, but we think 14 to 21 days is sufficient. And keep the quality.
Can you add to the system, like, you know, I know total, the one we had, they said they could always add if we wanted to.
Are you talking about this system then?
Well, that one we had the meeting, the total harm, or farm, when we had that meeting, they said if we start with a simple system, we could always add to it. That's why I was asking about this
Well,
one.
you can put 8 cameras on, you can 8 cameras on this one. Is that right, 8? Yeah.
1 channel.
That was my
8
recollection.
channels, so you want a 12, 16 channel system, another $450.
See if I add more money.
Mhm.
I didn't want
That's why you bid it separate, if you want. I don't think we need any more cameras. So,
Well, not in the courthouse at least.
no. So, anybody make this motion?
For which one you making a motion?
To set Barlow Securities bid for $4,250.
I'll make the third one.
You were talking to him, right?
I don't care.
Who's gonna
There's
second
nothing
it?
cheaper on this? Cheaper. I was thinking go cheaper.
I'll say the motion.
We're having, we discussed having them do the other buildings.
Yes.
What would be why isn't we discussing having them do this one?
You gotta pull all the wires and everything, it's a little
Okay.
more than he thinks that he can do.
Okay, just curious.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a big job,
Well, I kinda figured.
You're retired.
big job. Yeah, it's a nightmare, that's why we bid it separate.
The other ones you can take.
Well,
your
there's
time on.
there's already coax cable ran in certain locations, full of cameras that they never did put up. So my opinion is, instead of buying the high definition, just go with the older analog camera. You're getting close to the same clarity. Then you don't have to run extra wire, you already got the wire there.
How old's the coax stuff?
20 years. I think it probably put in the same time, wasn't it? Steve?
I can't answer that for sure.
And I mean, it's never been wet, I wouldn't think, it's in the walls, but.
Yeah, but if you ever go to update. there's-
You're gonna have to do it anyway, so. And so, for $4,000, it's,
Don't have to fool with it second time.
that's right.
Are you want to pay for this out of operations and maintenance or security, or where you want that?
Yeah, they
Wrong,
actually
you got
do.
money, it's in your building.
It's the sheriff's building.
County. I just try to look after it.
Security, I mean, it has the money.
Well, that passed quick, didn't it?
We'll see. Don't make it ever does it, or we can make it work either way.
No, I just need to know when I get the bill.
Where it comes out of, yeah,
Out of your pocket.
No.
I'd say security, because that's what it would be.
Yeah.
Okay,
If we put that much in, we cut a bunch of stuff there.
we got a lot of money in security.
There's some money.
Yeah,
enough
you,
in it.
is it in the budget though?
No, I think there's only $1,000 in equipment, so
Man.
you probably have to amend it.
There you go, Ron, get them in your
No,
budget.
How many does that make now?
I was for doing a real budget to begin with.
Do we have a second on that?
Yes,
Oh, we
Roland
got a
and
second
then
on
Luke, so,
Okay, well,
Ready
ready to
for-
vote?
ready to vote? Park,
Yes.
Birdbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
No.
Black,
Yes,
Beard,
No.
Holcomb.
Yes. Motion carried, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay, next order of business. Discuss the indoor air quality evaluation survey at the courthouse. This is interesting. We think we have dirt in our ductwork, so I don't know.
Dirt.
Don't know what it is. Well, you don't know
You
what it
don't
is
say it.
until you evaluate it. Somebody thought, well, what we called, Servpro, they come out and looked in it, yep, you got dirt in there. I go, well, can you clean it? Oh, we want to have somebody test it before we clean it. So you get some guy, a hygienist, one of them hygienists, you know, big fancy name. So they're gonna charge us $3,200 to come out and tell us if it's dirt or dirt.
If it's dirt or dirt.
Third or what the hell it is. So anyway, I talked to Sherry about it, and she got a hold of where's my paperwork here?
Department of Public Health.
Illinois Public Health. And they give me a bunch of papers to read. Basically, it says that they don't test for mold or anything, because there's no standards for it, you know. If you take a test, you're gonna have some mold, and you might have a lot of mold, and might not. So they say testing really doesn't do it, so they don't have no guidelines for what to do. We do, but we want to, yes.
The guidelines are if you see the mold, you get it cleaned out.
Clean it up. So,
Now, I did find out that you can go to Menards and you can get the test kits and you can swab it yourself, and the company that puts these kits out, they will test it and send about what type of mold it is. So, but it's like, I think the kit was $50 maybe,
okay.
so if somebody wants to climb up there and
So
swab it.
we may try that. So we're trying to decide what to do. So,
Do we have any employees getting sick or coughing?
yes, we do.
Me and the circuit clerk have been coughing up a lung for the past month, but that could just be the flu. But I would volunteer, I'll climb up there and take the swab.
these coughing spells, are they on a Monday morning? Yeah. People get a hangover and then they blame it on air quality.
I got court on Monday morning with Judge Braden, I don't miss those days.
And so basically we're gonna be checking into it a little closer, and we'll do, I'm not sure what we'll do yet. So just so that you know.
Why don't we just go ahead and okay a swab, get a swab up at Home Depot or wherever it is. And I don't really think the state's attorney needs to climb up there, but Roy could.
Attorney should.
No, but, you know, Jim, that Jim or his son is young enough to be able to do that, so.
Jim will be back for a while.
He's gonna be on a commission.
But his son will be around longer.
Yeah.
So I would say at least get the swab, know what we're dealing with, and then we can go from there at the next board meeting.
All right. We'll probably work on that. Don't know about that. All right, good enough?
Well,
So do you wanna make a motion to go ahead and do that?
Not really. Do we need a motion?
to do the swab.
If you want to spend $50 for the swab, I think you do.
You do.
Mhm.
I think so. I mean,
I want to do a swab.
It's on there to do
I
it.
don't think you have to, because you'll approve when I pay it, you'll approve it, but you gotta do whatever.
The sheriff's in charge of maintenance on that.
I think would be,
Do what he wants to.
now that we know what we're doing, it's not like a bill that comes due just while we're gone. I think we ought to just vote on it and see if everybody wants to do a swab, or maybe 4 people doesn't want to do a swab. I have no idea.
Okay, want to make a motion?
I will.
I'll make a motion to
Okay, purchase a swab from Menards.
Yes.
swab kit from Menards.
Okay. And Todd made the motion.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second
Okay.
Make sure you read the instructions and do it properly.
Bergbauer,
it. Yes.
Schlapp,
Yeah.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Holcomb.
No. I don't get the opportunity to say no very often. Anyway, okay, that's that. Next, discuss the annex roof on this building. Me and Jim Morgan went up in the attic here 3 weeks ago when it was raining. And there is a leak in the one room over here. I guess in the ladies' restroom. It's been leaking for a while. It's got a hole in the roof and all. So we got up in there and it's basically one ventilator is leaking. And it leaks a fair amount. And there's a couple other ventilators that are leaking a small amount. And there was one hole that's probably in the roof, capping was probably, we ain't found it yet, we'll find it. But basically, there ain't too much wrong with that attic. Don't look too bad. We'll find that leaky roof here. It's probably about in the middle of this table where it is. We think we can find it. As far as the ventilator, Jim's gonna hang some containers underneath the ventilator, so when it rains, it runs in that ventilator, in that container. Then of course, rain, it'll evaporate and be gone. So we think we can solve that problem very cheap. So the building, the roof on this building looks fairly good. Should get several years.
Can't they patch around
The ventilators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That ain't
that can of
leaking.
spray, that guy sprays on that screen that floats out there in the water.
That's not what's leaking. The ventilator itself is designed wrong. I didn't think they're supposed to leak. It's actually running inside of where the air goes out, the water's coming in. And I don't know, I call it
It's
bad
up,
design.
it's up top, it's not down at the roof level, is what you're saying.
It's on the roof level, yeah,
The-
It's under shingles.
The leak though is from up at the top of the ventilator
Right,
instead of
Right,
down at the
right.
roof
There's a
level.
round tube goes up the top of the roof,
Right.
and it's got a little hood on it. For somehow water's getting splashed up under there, wind's just right, and it's coming down through that 6-inch pipe and hits the ground. So I don't know. So we think we can fix that roof pretty quick. Not too much trouble, not a major expense. One other problem, this annex building's got a wall, we was in from this wall to where the treasurer's office was. There's a place in that, we cannot get into that crawl space of this part and also of over Joellen's office. We haven't found a place to get into the crawl space, so when we figure that out, we'll check it out also. So,
What, they got drywalled off?
there's drywall right there between this attic and that attic, which you probably cut a hole in the drywall, get in there and look at it, but, so, anyway,
Can you move a ceiling tile?
there's a double ceiling, there's another ceiling above this.
There's another ceiling
There's
above
a
it.
drop ceiling, yeah.
Wouldn't even look.
So anyway,
None in mine.
I don't think this roof's gonna be too serious problem for several years for the expense. We thought it might be. It don't look too bad. Okay?
Good.
Next order of business. Discuss setting salaries for elected officials. In your packet, I have proposal number 1, proposal number 2. He wants that salary for the clerk, county clerk, the treasurer, the circuit clerk, and the supervisor assessments. My first proposal there. I like it, but one thing I don't like about it, at the end of 4 years, the assessor will receive a 2% salary increase. That will make her salary about $1,000 higher than the other 3 employees. Which I like for the assessor to have a raise after 3 years, but also want to be equal, so have a dilemma. Maybe we could adjust that and make it a 1% increase to last year of approximately $500. So any comments on this proposal, or anybody like it or don't like it?
I don't like it. I want them all of them to make the same. That's what I want.
I would like for all of them to make the same. The problem I have is we're sending a message when they're going to be starting increasing, increasing the CPI and everything else. They've already started. We're telling the people that work for us that they're not worth very much, according to either of these. And I don't like that. I've not evaluated them, so I didn't do a proposal, but without evaluating what the job they're doing, we're standing back, and I hope that the two proposals you evaluated, but we're standing back and saying, we don't like the job you're doing.
I disagree with that
I
comment.
disagree with that too.
Here's my comment. I looked up the average income for a family in Cumberland County, is dual income, is $51,000 per household. We're looking at paying one individual what a dual family income is for Cumberland County. It's those Cumberland County people that are paying our property tax to fund Cumberland County.
I can agree with that.
So why do you want to put more of a burden on the Cumberland County residents? That's the question.
I'm looking at 3 different people here, 4 different people. And I know that the supervisors are usually, if they're doing a good job and taking care of the people and making sure they're working, they're worth every cent of what we pay them. I know that Cumberland County is a poor county. We are a bedroom community. We found that out, what, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, something like that. Most of the people in the county move, or go out of the county to poor jobs. So, yes, we don't have a high income in the county, per se. But these people, like I said, I've not evaluated them, so I see them working pretty well whenever I go into their offices. And, I think they deserve a raise, and we're not giving them much of one.
Well, again, based on what I looked up, you're looking at $51,000 for a dual income family. Now, if you add the stipend to these wages, you add IMARC retirement, you add 75% of their health insurance. I never did add up what that figure is, but it's well over 51,000.
It would be, yeah.
Can you clarify what the proposal is, because I did not hear anything that actually clarified what the
We've
proposals were.
got different ones.
We have 2 different ones here.
The proposal number you want to know what it is, Ron? I can
Yes,
tell it to you
please.
slightly. At the end of 4 years, I guess it's a little bit complicated. The county clerk and treasurer would be making $4,602. Circuit clerk would be making $4,602, and the supervisor would be making $49,116. Roy, you made a comment you wanted them to be equal. What do you
Well,
mean?
I mean, I'm not saying that we're not saying they're doing a bad job. What I look at is, we've got to start saving somewhere. We're not doing it in the budget, obviously, we're not doing things, I think they all should be the same. So I think this is a good time to start all of them the same, at the same salary. That's why I want them all dropped to where they're all at, and then we can go from there.
Did you figure the difference in stipends when you figured
I
out?
told you on the phone, I didn't. Stipends mean nothing, that's a state thing, that's not us.
Lloyd, I'm sorry, but you quoted 4,602.
44.
44.62.
Thank you.
But Roy, stipend does mean something to us, because we have to match the IMRF out of that, Social Security, so that
Well, I mean,
stipend
I'm
is
talking-
costing the county extra money.
What I'm saying is, I don't,
You can't change or decrease my pay based on the stipend. That's unfairness in this Clerk of the Courts Act.
And I'm not saying that's the case, I'm just explaining
Just explaining that you can't
that we are
decrease
matching.
mine based on the stipend. You cannot decrease my pay based on the stipend. Because that it comes from the state though, and it is also not guaranteed. Every year, almost every year, there has been, since I've been here in 14, there has been a vote. And with the state that our state is in currently, it will probably continue every year from here on out until they get a budget that's better too. But we're always at risk of losing that stipend. So when you even consider that stipend, it's not turned into our annual reports that are turned into the state. It's not included. When they post in the report book that you get from the state, it has all of the county stipends and all of our statistics, or all of the county stuff, but it's no
And
stipend.
I'm not talking about that, Rhonda, I'm just saying that it does cost the county money because we are doing the Social Security, IMRF.
Yes.
And we're not taking money away from you. There wouldn't be any money coming out of your salary,
Correct.
in either proposal.
Okay.
So, do you get somebody to make a motion?
Well, you trying to make a motion for the first one?
First proposal, yes.
What's the second proposal, if we can ask what that is?
Second proposal at the end of 4 years would be, the clerk, county clerk, the treasurer, and the circuit clerk would make $46,000, and the supervisor second would make $49,500. So that's why I want to vote on the first proposal first. If that don't pass, we'll vote on the second one.
We've got to pass it tonight, don't we, before the election,
No, we don't have
one
to.
way or the other?
Do we have any other proposals?
Or is that
Deadline's June
they're
4th.
mine, but
What?
Your deadline's June 4th,
there's
the 180-day, deadline, and what Rhonda was stating is correct. It's also in the statutes that the county board cannot reduce or otherwise impair the compensation payable from county funds to anybody paid by the county pretty much. If the reduction or impairment is the result of the auditor or county clerk, or circuit clerk in this case, receiving an award or stipend, let you know, you can't do that. She's right.
Lower them, so to say. You can't lower them, so to say.
You can't reduce or impair
Due
their
to-
compensation
Due
due to
to-
the
Due to
stipend.
the stipend.
And we weren't doing that with any of these.
Right.
What we were trying to do was level out the stipends because the three ladies get more than what the fourth lady does in stipend. And so we were trying to give the fourth lady a little bit more money, and then she could work for her stipend and get her stipend versus the other three.
Well, again, we can be just like the state of Illinois. We can raise taxes, run people out of the county, so you have less people paying the tax, which means you gotta raise taxes again to cover what expenses you have. And I think Cumberland County could put themselves right in that same situation. We've already lost. I don't know what the population is. Just went down in years.
We want to
Classrooms
close
at
the
Trump.
taxes to be with Effingham.
Yes,
We
Rhonda?
want people to live with here, especially with Tobacco having, trying to hire more jobs and all that. I'd like to get people to stay here.
Well, I
We got a
don't,
lot of people driving from Jasper County to come up here.
and they're going to.
Well, not if we have a better tax system.
Rhonda?
Well, we've
Yes,
got,
I understand that we need to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. I'm all for that, and I have never asked for, although I can, I think according to statute, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I think each year, as part of the judicial court, we could ask for a raise. I have not done that since I come in, and I have been appreciative of the raise and stated that. But when we came in March of 2016, and I spoke to the majority of the board prior to that meeting and gave my 2 cents, maybe not worth a lot, but, and then a motion was actually brought up although it did not pass, it was brought up that we were going to increase the assessor's pay by upwards of 28%. Now, I don't understand why now, the conversation is now switched to, and the 17% vote included Mr. Beard's vote, but why now all of a sudden are we talking, well, we can't give you this, we can't give you a raise because, the taxpayers. Well, the taxpayers also paid, or were going to pay that 28% raise, which if you'll remember, it was $11,000 of an increase on that. And the majority were going to initially pass that vote.
And out of all 4 of these offices, or 5, that again is the one that has to have certification.
Very well, but the other justification that was told to me was that it's harder to find someone to fill the position. We have a very qualified candidate doing that.
Really?
Well, but Rhonda, we made a bigger raise 2 years ago you're talking about. Why do we raise it that much?
March of
Get
2000.
assessor's
Well, Rhonda,
salary.
if that wage wasn't there, would she have came and did all the schooling
The
and
moot
all
point, you
that stuff?
voted for it when you didn't know that she was coming.
But
Anyway,
we also knew that
You still
job was
voted-
hard to
you
get
still
somebody to
voted.
fill. Because most times, when those jobs get filled by Cumberland County, then they look at other counties, because other counties pay more, and once they have the certification, they move on. And
And
leave
you were talking about other counties. I've owned property in two of the neighboring counties, and their tax rates are way much higher than what ours are. A gob high
On farmland?
on everything.
You sure?
Well, farmland is because of the type of soils.
Right, that's what I was getting at now.
But even the tax rate, the total tax rate on your tax bill, it'll be at the very bottom that says our total tax rate's $9.75 or something like that. And the other 2 places that I've lived has been a whole bunch more. When I came back to Cumberland County, I questioned the assessor's office, or maybe it was the treasurer's office, because what a 40 acres that I paid for had a $50 tax rate on it. And I said, no, it was supposed to be for the whole year. And the person said that was the whole year. I thought it was prorated because I bought it in June or July.
is that where you're living now?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, like you said, soil type sucks right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
So, and I'm not saying that because
And I had the
live
same-
land next to him.
And I had, yeah,
It sucks.
exactly. And I had the same type of soil though up in Lovington when I was up there, and it was a whole bunch more expensive. It was covered with woods up there where I was living. They couldn't farm it or do diddly squat with it, and it was a ravine, just like I've got, and it was hundreds of dollars instead of just 50, and I had 5 acres instead of 40.
Well, one final comment I got is these proposals, you can see on the fact that in the next 4 years, that's a raise of between 5% and 2%, which is a 0.5% to 1.5% increase per year. So I consider that a conservative proposal compared to, and that's my opinion. Still a good salary, but still a conservative increase in salary. So I guess I'll make a motion on it so we can vote it down.
Do we have any other proposals?
The second one right there.
Just these 2?
I got mine, but no one else look at it.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
You ever seen it?
I saw it on the internet, but I don't have it here.
But you said you can't drop them, so.
Yeah, you can't drop them.
So,
You can't.
You could drop over a certain percentage, I thought.
Oh, you can drop
You
it.
can't drop just because based on, you can't say, well, because they're getting a $5,000 stipend, we're gonna knock their salary down 5,000.
Well,
I
and
haven't
that's
even
not
think
the
about
case.
stipend. I wouldn't even think
We're
about
talking about saving property tax.
but when you lump that stipend in and you compare it to the average household income, you are lumping in the stipend. I mean, when you're stating that you are comparing our salary and that 51,000, wherever that research may have come from, you're still lumping in the salary because you repeatedly go back to the fact that you had 3,500.
It was talked about, correct.
But I wasn't looking at that.
No.
I'm not looking at, I wouldn't even look at stipend whatsoever,
And I didn't present a proposal.
so.
And then I didn't either. And I told you why I didn't.
I will say that our county levy rate was just .922. Clay County's was 1.8625 last year. Marshall County was 1.04. They have close to the same population, close to the same EAB.
And those are southern counties, they have even worse soil than what we do.
I'll make a motion to accept CLAP's proposal.
Do you have a second?
What is the
What is
motion?
it?
What is the
What is
motion?
Copy of it.
To accept, they're different. We'll call it Proposal 3. I made a motion to accept Proposal 3.
Do we not get to know what that proposal is prior to your vote?
At the very bottom,
We can give it to this one.
isn't that what you did
That's
earlier?
what I did, yeah. You want to give it to Ron?
I can do it. Clerk and treasurer gets $44,147 after 4 years.
Be $500 difference.
Circuit clerk gets $44,147, and supervisor of assessments gets $44,147.
And we are not including the sheriffs in that proposal.
Right. Okay, motion and second, right?
To approve
No, that's not the case.
proposal number
So-
Roll
3.
call number 3.
Because we're not basing it off a stipend. He had no
I didn't even look at
stipend even figured in.
Okay, roll call.
I need, Todd motioned, who seconded?
I seconded it.
Okay, Clap,
Yes.
Black,
Nope.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Nope.
Bergbauer,
No.
Falconbrink,
No. Motion failed. So. Any more comment? Anybody make a motion for proposal number 1?
I will make a motion on proposal number 1, but I want to amend the supervisor of assessments due to the fact that it was such a high raise the last time the board voted on that salary, or the last time, maybe the time before last. I would like to change the 4th year instead of 2% to 0%. It's not a reflection on McKinsey at all. It is a reflection on what a big jump was made before.
So you're holding the supervisor of assessment at 0 all the way through.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second on that motion?
Is that, wait a minute, is that
Proposal number 1.
3,500? It's a little more, a little
Can't worry
less.
about that.
Well, I know you can't, but we do. I do.
Hers isn't a stipend. She can apply for one, but the last one wasn't applied for when they could apply. But she can apply for one stipend and then you're given her
3,500.
a difference of a pay. That is a considered stipend, so that doesn't fall under the clerk of the court side.
Do we have a second on this motion? No second, huh?
Say it's a dead motion.
I'll second just for a bit, or just for a vote.
Second by Ron, okay.
Okay, so,
Proposal number 1, amended proposal number 1.
okay, so Black,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Falconbrink.
You forgot
Oh,
some.
Clap, sorry, I was gonna go over there next.
No.
No, I was getting to him, Falconbrink.
Yes. Motion carried, correct?
Yep.
What was that
Yes.
final number on I want to clarify this.
On the supervisor assessments,
It was staying the same.
it was saying the same,
Okay,
48,153.
Okay, gotcha, you're right, that's right. Okay, you're right. Okay, that motion carried. So we have the salary set for those 4 positions. Now, next one is the sheriff's salary. My proposal number 1 was drop it to 54,000 the first year and then keep increasing it to the last year, 56,743. The current salary is 55,744.
Call your grandma.
So,
Nathan, call your grandma.
poor kid.
Call your grandma, I'm in a board meeting.
Okay, anyway,
Babysitting service.
I would prefer to change that and make the current salary is 55,744. I'd like to freeze that salary. I'd like to do, after thinking about it,
On all 4 years?
on all 4 years. Isn't that what I want? I think that one, yeah, that's what I want to do.
I don't understand what you're saying. What are you saying?
He's wanting to make the sheriff's salary right now is 55,744.
I want
He's
to
wanting
freeze
to
that
make it
salary.
for the 4 years that are coming up, 55,744. Instead of decreasing it, holding it the same.
Okay, I'll make a motion for, proposal 3.
What is that now?
I'll second.
Aren't you cutting the salary though, on proposal
You can
3?
go that much.
What?
You can go that much. We're all right.
Okay, we got a proposal and a second.
So we're doing proposal number 3.
Number 3. We have a motion and a second.
Todd. All right, Black,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
I'd like to have discussed that a little bit.
No.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Holcomb.
No.
I'd
Motion
like-
failed, right?
I'd like to mention why I voted no on that one, if I could.
It's 3.
It did not pass. 4 to pass, right?
We have 2 individuals that are campaigning, thinking they're gonna get that amount of money. They have bought a bunch of signs and all kinds. They spent a lot of money just trying to become a sheriff. And,
The guy runs for president, spends billions of dollars, not even
yeah, but he doesn't use his,
400,000 a year.
he doesn't use his money.
I think Trump did, didn't he?
Very little, very little.
Okay, now, that didn't pass, so now we need a different proposal. We'll go back to proposal number 1 again. Anybody been making a motion on that?
I'll make a proposal or a motion that we freeze the salary for the next 4 years.
Which is, okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Let's see. So, Beard,
No.
Parr,
No.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
No.
Black,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Didn't carry it.
No.
Let's try again.
Well, what's our next choice? Proposal number 2?
We haven't even done proposal number 1 yet.
Yeah, we just voted on that.
That was a freeze is what I proposed.
Oh, well.
I
Oh,
think that's what
That's what Floyd had
Floyd
mentioned.
said.
I suggest, okay, so that was a different, okay, well, now we're gonna do proposal number 1. This is, well, it won't cost nothing.
I don't know if I'm gonna understand my notes here.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of cost stuff.
Just so everybody's clear, that essentially taking the stipend or anything that the state pays in towards any county official cannot be taken into account to impair or reduce anybody's salary, so everybody's aware you can't do that.
You can't reduce it.
Right.
Based on.
Yeah, based on
Based on the
based on the stipend or an award from the state. So you can't say, like I said, you can't say, I'm gonna reduce somebody's salary or not give them the same amount of raise because of the stipend or because of what the state kicks in.
So in other words, they're trying to tell us how to set salary, right?
They're telling you what you cannot consider.
Yeah, Ron.
So we
That's what
cannot,
Rhonda said earlier.
we can't set the salary lower if we want to.
No, you can't.
No.
You can, but you just can't do it based
use
on
the
the stipend or an award from the state.
So they can correct me if I'm wrong, but Roy wanted to lower the salary not because of any stipend, but
Right.
because it's a new sheriff.
You can do it for any reason or no reason, but you just can't do it for the stipend.
Well, then let's give them 0.
We just voted for that.
No,
It
I
didn't
didn't,
pass.
not a 0 raise, I mean $0.
What the there are minimums.
All right.
They're in the teens.
Somebody want to vote on proposal number 1?
You might want to also consider the fact that when you're voting on this, this is the sheriff who's 24/7 on call, as Steve can attest to for how many years, in charge of a lot over there, and the fact that the motion that passed, there's not going to be a huge difference between some of the other department heads and the sheriff, and in my opinion, that is a very highly
Dangerous.
risky and 24/7 job. So I know that there's new people coming in, but there could possibly be someone who served the county for many years in that position that may also warrant a raise.
Good point, Rhonda. Proposal number 1 is a salary of $56,743. Proposal number 2 is, after 4 years, a salary of $59,000. Everybody wants to make a proposal 1. Does anybody want to vote on proposal number 2? It's the only 2 choices I got. Other than that, I don't know what we'll do.
Make a motion, we accept proposal number 1 for the sheriff's salary.
You got a second to that?
What are you gonna do with the sheriffs, you didn't say?
Proposal number 1 on page 12.
They're going back to those numbers right here. Before they voted on the freeze at that wage, now they're talking about going to this proposal here with those figures.
If this doesn't pass, I'm not making more motions this tonight.
Feel like me once in a while.
I'll second it.
All right. Black,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Parr,
No.
Birdbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
No.
Holcomb.
Yes. Todd's made a proposal.
No, I haven't.
Okay, Roy's made a proposal.
Yeah.
I made a proposal. Kyle's made a proposal. Who wants to make the next proposal? Luke, what do you want? What would you like to see?
I'd go with number 1 if you change the sheriffs up a little bit. Start with the same amount and add 1% each year.
Start with the same amount, add 1% each year.
1% on 755, 744, you say, Luke?
Right.
Everybody understand that?
proposal, I'm gonna counter your proposal there,
Each year
Luke.
it compounded.
Yes,
Oh,
it
that's
is.
right, it does. Do what?
I'm going to suggest a 55,500 for all 4 years. That's about the third year in, the amount that's the third year in. And it'd just be all 4 years, and we wouldn't raise it every year.
What number, John, Ron?
55,500.
You're reducing the sheriff's salary.
Because he's at 55,744 right now.
So you're saying going 55.5, 4 years?
For all 4 years, which isn't reducing the salary, it's giving him a little bit more in the long
It's
run.
reducing the salary.
He's at
55,740
55,700
now.
You know what his current salary is?
Yeah, 55,744.
You want to lower it then, and then freeze it.
Well, that's what everybody else was wanting to do,
No, I was leaving.
No.
except Luke, except Luke.
You got Luke's numbers right yet?
We
Yeah.
had a vote on leaving it the same and it didn't pass.
What's that?
Of leaving it at 55,744, that motion did not pass.
Right.
For all 4
So-
years.
Right.
So Luke wants to give 1%
So
per year.
add 1% for each year.
How about making it easy, Luke, and let's just say 1% is gonna be about $500 per year.
No, it'd be more than that.
It'd be a little bit more,
$550, 57.
550, but I was just trying to
Kyle's
make
about got it here.
I've got my ending math at $58,007.42, so that definitely
Exactly
could
what
be
I got.
wrong.
No, that's what I got.
Okay, so either we
With the
both did
1%?
We went at the
wrong,
1%.
1% every year.
Okay, that's what I want.
557 for first year, 563 second year, 568 third year, and 574 for fourth year.
So you want to do 1% each year.
What you got?
And the ending was 58 what, Kyle?
58,00742.
We got a motion. Anybody want to second that one? Can I second it?
So we're gonna increase the sheriff more than we increase everybody else, is what we're saying.
Not much. Probably not.
Well, he is 24/7 in a dangerous position.
Oh, I
Yes, he is.
agree.
This day and age, all them crazies out there, I sure wouldn't want that position.
I'll second it.
Crazy.
Just think about what the assessor has to go through. How many crazy people you get in there?
About
You
one a
don't have
day.
to think.
Yelling.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
I know.
Okay, so, hold on here.
This is our, hopefully our final proposal.
All right, for 1% each year. Beard,
No.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
No.
Clapp,
No.
Polkenbrink,
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Oh,
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna make a proposal.
May as well.
So I get voted down too.
25,000 every year.
Minimum statutorily required?
Huh?
The minimum statutorily required? Is that your proposal?
What is it?
It's like 15 or 16,000.
No.
I can't remember the exact numbers. They're all a little different, if I recall.
Depending on the size of the county, I imagine.
All right. 52.5, all 4 years. $52,500 per year for 4 years.
You're talking about the sheriff.
Yes, I am. And I'll make a motion on it.
I'll second.
Okay, Parr,
No.
Bergbauer,
No.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Polkenbrink.
No. Guys, we got one proposal left. There's two of the proposals exactly the same, and all real close to proposal number two. Why don't, why we're fighting over 50 cents to $1? We're real close where we're gonna be.
Well, proposal 3 almost passed, and Ron said if we give a little more to help pay for campaign signs, which is what I did, and we still voted it down.
You got someone running and they, like Rhonda said, when they're expecting a salary, I don't know how you can
Hey,
justify
that
doing that.
salary is subject to change based on this meeting, and they all know that that salary's set prior to the election.
Well, do they?
Well, they should. They're running for the job.
I don't know that I knew that when I mean,
You
that's
probably didn't
kinda-
care what you got paid either.
Well, yes, I did.
She just went out of the house.
Come on.
Come on, guys, let's vote on proposal number 2, but with it. We're all real close where we want to be. We can't give a little bit. I don't know what we're gonna do. We can call another meeting, but it's, I don't know what your problem is. When you're that close and you can't vote for me, proposal.
Well, you're the one voting no on some of these things. I don't know what your problem is. Same thing.
No, we weren't even close on this poll, Bud. That's why you got 4 no's on this poll. At least some of you had 3 on, and them 3s, they should have moved over and made it 4 down. When you're that close.
Can we just have a discussion and see what everybody will compromise on? Or will anybody compromise? Is there anyone that wants to compromise? Or are we just gonna dig our heels in and go the way we're going? If we're gonna dig our heels in and without compromise, there's no reason for us to keep talking.
Well, I've been compromising. I came up off my first proposal.
What's the reason for the decrease?
Well, probably, and I'm just gonna talk for everybody else, or I'm gonna talk for myself, but I would guess the decrease is because we raised Steve because he was retiring. He was really, really low before we put the raises in.
Yeah,
And
4 years ago, we gave a 6% increase each year, right?
6%, I think, yes. Now, the problem is with everybody else's salary, and what you said is true. It's a 24/7 job and everything. But with everyone else's salary, and I know we can't talk about the stipends, but and I'm gonna just say the circuit clerk's salary, I can pick on her. If it's going to be 43,294 or whatever we said it was gonna be, with a, what, $5,000 stipend, isn't that what you get if you get it? 65?
You get about half of it.
65? With a $6,500 stipend, that's 5,000, or that's right at $50,000. And, you know, we're talking a guy 24/7, taking care of a jail, taking care of all the buildings and everything like this for $4,000 extra. I mean, that's, and look at Steve, he's pulled all of his hair out already. Whoops, he's not even here.
He left a while ago.
You know, we're talking $4,000 for all that. And it's not worth it. I can't see going backwards on it.
No, I voted no on these pros that are voting for a decrease in pay. I voted no for them for that reason. I will not vote for a cut in pay for any of our department heads. I mean, I feel like they're considered salary, but the county is not that bad a shape. We can't hold the line on salaries, in my opinion. And so.
At the end of the 4th year, with the sheriff on proposal number 1 is $56,743. Could we get a compromise at 56,000 to 57,000, somewhere like that for all 4 years?
What about a freeze the first year and then a 1% raise after that? I would be happy with that.
What's that end up?
I have no idea, I'm not.
Well, I thought maybe you'd been.
That's the one that's on proposal one.
A 1% raise all the way through.
Oh, you
But
said
there's
the
no
twos.
decrease, there's no decrease.
So you start out at 55,744 with a 1%.
Yeah, that's what I
But
proposed.
instead of doing a 1%, but for 4 years, a freeze the first and then 1% after that.
That's real close to what we had.
That's what I'm getting at.
So you're saying you're ended up at 5743 on 9?
Yeah.
Freeze the first year and then 1% the next 3 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Before I make a motion, because I already said I wasn't gonna make any more motions. Is that agreeable to anyone else?
I've asked
I'll
for a
agree for it.
compromise.
I'll agree for it. I'll agree to it.
Todd's saying no.
That's real close to your proposal, right, Luke?
Yeah.
Real close.
So Luke, are you willing to compromise a little bit?
You're going down again.
Well, you're not going down, you're just staying the same.
Well, no,
You're freezing the salary just like
Freezing
you
it at
froze the
50.
supervisor of assessments.
Yes. Because everyone else got a price
We
raise
already
the
have
first
a-
year.
So he's just saying 0 for the first year, no raise, and
And then
then,
1% after that.
Yeah, in 18 it would be 0. 12/1/18 it would be $55,744. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Because if everyone else got a freeze, I feel like it's only fair. It's across the board.
Okay, somebody want to second that motion?
Has there been a motion made?
he's trying to make one, I think.
Well,
He
if
proposed
there's
it.
gonna be enough support. Yeah, I'll make it.
Oh, I'll second.
What's that?
I'll second.
Luke second that motion.
Okay, so
Okay, can you repeat it for me, please?
I'll make a motion that we set the sheriff's salary at $55,744 with a freeze in 2018 and a 1% raise following.
Each year.
Each
1%
year.
Each year.
Each year.
Everybody understand the motion? Okay, we have a second, right, Luke?
Yes,
Second.
I went ahead and seconded it.
Good.
Okay. Black,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
No.
Falconbridge.
Yes. Motion carried.
Yes, it did.
One more time, folks. This could be easy, next is easy.
And there's nothing in there on it.
Oh, then, okay, let's set the salary for the county board, it's
Just for a couple years.
4 years, right?
Yeah, I just did 2. I forget.
Think so?
You want to go for 4? Because you'll be,
No, I don't think so.
some will be running in
I
years.
don't think so.
Are we allowed to
I
do
hope
2
not.
years?
But it's only a couple years.
Okay, Beth said we're gonna set this aside for a 2-year term, because we have election board members every 2 years, so thought it was gonna be a 4-year term. This is the 2 years salary. Right now, the salary is $75 per meeting. Somebody wanna leave it there, somebody wanna freeze it, or somebody wanna lower it?
If we frozen the supervisor of assessments, I will make a motion to freeze our salary.
Second it.
What that bonus that goes with it? Yeah, vote on that, or
Take it out.
I would mention it in there also.
that bonus, that's my bonus time.
I know, that's what I said. Is that your motion?
Can I take it back?
Not prohibited by statute.
Hey. Figures. Okay.
You could write an
So
ordinance
are we
to
leaving that in
keep
there,
that from happening.
freezing it also?
I'm saying we're freezing it just the way it is.
Pretty good, it is, okay.
Okay, so Ron and then Luke?
For 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years.
Okay, Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Someone's got to vote no on this. Yes.
Falconbridge.
Yes.
Why?
Motion carried. We Now, the salary set for the next some years. Okay, next need a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement for the spay and neuter of feline between Cumberland County and the village of Toledo. So copy in your pamphlet book,
Toledo's the only one that has,
starting at Toledo. If it works good with Toledo, they'll go to Fremont next.
Okay.
So, it's a trial. So, Mark Howard drove it up and he's satisfied with it, so should be no problem.
I got a little problem, I guess.
Something misspelled something?
Number 8, nope. Word I don't like. Village may donate $10.
You can't compel somebody to donate. Otherwise, it's not a donation.
Really?
Right.
So we can't say shall donate or will donate? It's gotta be may. You're sure?
Yeah, by its very definition, a donation is willing.
Will, could we say will pay?
You could, but they're a non-profit, so they can't be paid.
Can the village
Well, your
legally
argument,
give tax dollars away to a donation like that?
That's for the village to decide. That's their money.
Yep. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay, need a motion for that one.
I think we just did donate some money though earlier today, didn't we? To the Life
No.
Center?
no, that was through the
Someone else.
County
Illinois County
Association.
I'll
Association,
second that one.
that wasn't our money.
Okay.
We're used to that.
Par,
We just laundered it for them. We just laundered
We're both on
it.
this intergovernmental
Pass
agreement.
through.
Okay.
Oh, for the cats, okay.
okay, so Luke, you're first.
We should be,
Yes.
Yes? Birdbauer?
Yes.
Clap?
Yes.
Black?
Yes,
Beard?
Yes.
Polkenbray?
yes. Okay, that's all I've got, Bob. Your turn. If you want to slow down.
Mine's short and sweet. I just need a motion to approve the county clerk tax redemption reports for February of 18.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Birdbauer?
Yes.
Clap?
Yes.
Black?
yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Parr?
Yes.
Polkenbray?
Yes.
Okay,
How we got?
that's it.
Joellen?
I just need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for February 2018.
Make it,
Second.
Clap?
Yes.
Black?
yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Parr?
Yes.
Birdbauer?
Yes.
Polkenbray?
Yes. How we got, Joellen?
Yes.
Ben Bland, what do you got?
I need a motion to approve the highway bills for February.
$38,094.09.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Black?
Yes.
Beard?
Yes. Or I'm just,
That's
yeah,
good.
I'm fine on this.
Oh, okay.
This is all right.
Is it, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Parr?
Yes.
You were searching for the word.
Birdbauer?
Yes.
Well,
Clap?
Yes.
Polkenbray?
Yes.
Next, I need a motion to approve resolution for the 2018 maintenance of county motor fuel tax roads. This is our yearly authorization to expend motor fuel tax on the maintenance of our roads.
$255,000. Is that number down quite a bit, Ben?
Yes.
I know 2 years ago it was quite a bit higher than that.
Is that for all Cumberland County roads, you say?
County maintained roads.
County maintained roads.
That's based on registration of vehicles, isn't it? So,
Past years, we've included the needy county money, and this year I'm not including that because I don't know if we're gonna get it or not. Years prior, we budgeted that money in the same year on the anticipation of getting it, based on what developed last year. I'm not gonna do it that way this year. I'm not gonna spend that money until we have it. In years past, we've anticipated that money.
So if you get the money, you're gonna spend it this year, or you can
Probably,
for next year?
that'll give us, we'll just have to see. But I'm changing the way that how we budget that money.
That's about $100,000.
105,000. I mean, basically, that's what we're down. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reason that the number is down, but
2016 was 375,000. I don't know what last year was, I didn't find it.
It was-
Okay,
But that's the reason that number is down.
oh, okay,
But it's just,
not so bad.
you know, we got clipped this past year where they cut our allotment in half, or the Needy Township and Needy County money. It was cut in half, but we subsequently did get the allotment, but it was second. The second half that they took from us, they gave it to us this January. But
Okay,
it's just, it's an accounting procedure.
okay,
I mean, if we get it, we'll have the opportunity to use it, but if not, we'll roll it in the next year and the program will be over.
no problem.
I'll make the motion.
Sorry,
You already made it? Okay, I'll second.
Okay, Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
yes.
Black,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes, okay.
Next, I need a motion to approve a resolution to dissolve the county highway supplemental fund. This is a budgetary fund which has been shown on our budget for, ever since I've been county engineer. When I first took this job, the year before I became county engineer, the Cumberland County Board would give the highway department $25,000 each year, or would give the county highway department $25,000. And in January of, in December of 2003, they stopped doing that. And that fund has just carried forward through the years. We no longer get money from the general fund. We have whatever the fund balance is that we will transfer it into the general highway, Cumberland, in the highway general fund. This was basically, I spoke with Nick. He said the only way to get rid of that fund is by county board resolution. So that's what it's about.
You don't need it, you don't need it.
No, I don't need the fund. I mean,
The fund,
it was a fund that was specially set up way back when the county board gave the highway department money.
I'll make the motion.
You can always you can always redo it if we had to.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
And the next, what I had on the agenda, I'm gonna take off. It's setback variance will not be required at that particular location. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ben. Sherry?
Yes, first I would like to ask for a motion to accept the resignation of Sandy Daters from the Board of Health.
Make it.
Would you put me back on there?
Yeah,
I'll take her spot.
good idea. We'll do it.
Need a second?
I'll second Cindy Davis.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Second, but
Yeah, I'm not saying myself.
Next, I would like a motion to approve the appointment of Jen Beck, a registered nurse, to fill the vacant board seat.
Okay.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Black,
yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. All right, got Sherry?
That's all I have,
All
yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Rhonda Wilson?
I don't have anything for you, thank you.
Very good. Mackenzie?
Don't have anything.
All right. Steve Ozier? Not here. Brian Robbins, anything?
Don't have anything.
John Braden? Not here. Steve Sherwood?
All I got's that grant. I paid KTD. I'll be getting the grant funding back, so my budget will look
Bad.
bad for a month or 2 or 3 till I get reimbursed. It's a 100% grant, so it's not a burden on the county at all. That's all I have.
Very good. Donna Olmsted?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to
accept the resignation of Cody Jenner from the ETSB board.
Somebody will make that motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Plath,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
And then I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointment of Richard Roderick to take his place on the ETSB board.
All right.
I'll make it.
Second.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Plath,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Donna, thank you. Mark Howard's not here. I guess we need to ratify payment of manual bills in the amount of $48,929.07.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Need a motion to approve payment of invoices in the amount of $80,127.65.
That's the last one.
Page,
Oh, invoices,
52.
invoices. I was
52.
looking at payroll.
page 52.
Yeah, okay, I'll make it.
I'll second.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Now you motion to pay payroll number 4, amount of $77,699.58.
That's page 60. They're in there backwards. Got 5 in front of
I'm forward on the last page.
I'll make a motion.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Is it all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
And it may be in the contract, but I mean, when you've got an employee using 40 hours of comp time, but yet getting never mind, I looked at it wrong.
Okay.
Forget it.
Okay,
You need a second.
I'll do it.
You got that?
it. Yeah. Black,
Yeah.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Okay, it's on this payroll. I thought I saw it one time.
Payroll
Okay.
number 5, amount of $79,581. Got a comment, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, you've got an employee that can pull 13 hours of comp time, 30 hours of overtime, but yet only works 67 hours. Is that in the contract like that?
Which contract?
Be the FOP?
I'm pretty sure comp time is probably considered earnings hours where you can use it like that.
And the 30 hours was probably maybe a holiday, I guess?
There would have been a holiday in that one, yes.
Are weekends,
It's kind of shame that
do we pay,
they let them take advantage of that system. I mean, you work 67 hours, but yet you get 30 hours of overtime and 13 hours of comp time. I don't like that, but if that's the way the contract's written, I know the way it is.
Well, it is.
more than likely?
You see that?
What page you on, Todd?
59.
Okay,
Yeah, that's payroll 4.
well, I saw that on this.
That's, in my opinion, poor management. Shouldn't be allowed, but just an extra expense to the taxpayer that surely could have been rearranged for different employees.
If we're putting that much overtime in, we might as well get
30
it.
hours
Hire
of
another person.
overtime,
Hire another
13
person, be
hours
cheaper.
comp. Place at 30 comp time first. I think that's where it's at, yeah. It's in the pretty good salary, Jenny. So that one's a ton, compared to the sheriff's salary.
Todd, I'm not, could it possibly been a holiday pay?
Well, that's what I mentioned, I said it could've been a holiday, because we had some holidays in there.
I imagine that's what it
We had
was,
two
was
in
holiday
one
pay.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a dispatcher?
FOP.
Is that double time for holiday? I think it is, isn't it?
If they work
Time
on
and
the
a half.
holiday, it's time and a half.
I'd have to-
Is it time and a half?
Time and a half.
If they work on the holiday.
But then you're taking 13 hours off of comp time, I mean,
Yep.
it's a poor system, I think that whenever they do negotiations, that needs to be looked at.
Okay, do you have a motion?
No,
Do you have a
this is
second?
payroll 5 that we need the motion on.
I'll make,
I'll say it.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Birdbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
yes.
Black,
Yes.
Volkenbright.
Yes. Everything's paid, right?
Yep, that's it.
Now I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn this meeting.
Second?
Carr,
Yes.
Birdbauer,
Yes.
Clapp,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Volkenbright.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
And I'm not holding it against you if you forget, because I forget all the time.
I'll remember, be sure I let you know.
Okay.
You running out of here? Yeah. I wanted to talk to you.